Welcome to the first of what will hopefully be many weekly writing vlogs. Not writing, not writing vlogs. Welcome to the first of what will hopefully be many weekly reading vlogs. So I got this idea from Kate's book date. I know she's probably not the first person to do this, where she kind of just does a vlog of her reading throughout the week. This happens a lot during events like Booktubeathon or biannual Bibliothon or just random readathon weeks, and I really do enjoy like reading my books and then like updating throughout the week in a spoiler-free manner of what I have been reading. I kind of wanted to make this a thing because I don't like to do monthly wrap-ups. Oh, the color finally fixed itself. Oh my gosh, it took forever for my camera. You saw how it was yellow in the beginning. I feel like it'd be a fun way to keep track of my books since I don't really like doing the whole monthly wrap-up in one sitting just because they're kind of a pain to edit. So I thought I would talk about the books that I have been reading lately and what I'm going to be currently reading because I am currently reading 3 books and I'm about to start a 4th. This is very unlike me. I'm usually a very monogamous reader. I read one book at a time. I blame the books because they were kind of boring. And so I kept like starting a new one. Also, I went to the beach, and the book I was currently reading at the time, yes, I went to the beach in October. It's still warm in Maryland in October. So it was actually a very nice beach day. I didn't want to bring the library book I was reading because I have this like paranoid thing about bringing library books to the beach, and then I don't want to like accidentally leave it at the beach and then have to pay for it, especially since I was reading Wildcard by Marie Lu. This is a hardback, costs like $19. If I left it there, that would really suck. So I brought this book, First Grave on the Right, which I got for $1 at the thrift store, and if I left it, that would be a shame, but at least I wouldn't owe $19 to the library. So I guess I'll just start with this one because I did just finish this one yesterday? I think it was yesterday. This is the sequel to Warcross, which I really enjoyed Warcross last year, but that is about a girl who ends up getting involved with this virtual reality game. It takes place in the near future, where like virtual reality is like a thing and everybody has these goggles and you can see like overlays of the street and all this other stuff. It was a really interesting world and I really enjoyed the first book, and it had like a great ending that was a surprise ending, and I enjoyed the characters. I thought it was fun, it was fast-paced, it was a good time all around. This book lost me a little bit. I don't know why. It started out pretty good, actually. The first 100 pages, I was pretty into it. And then it just kind of got boring, and I don't know why. It changed, like it wasn't really about the video game anymore. It was about this other thing that was introduced at the end of the first book, and then that's like what the whole thing was about. And I kind of stopped caring partway through, and I don't even know why. I just lost interest partway through, and then I just had to push myself to finish it, because by the time I was kind of done with it, I only had like 75-ish pages left. Like I got 2/3 of the way through before I was like, I'm kind of tired of reading this. But at that point I was like, well, I should just finish it and see how it ends. Because I was kind of considering looking up spoilers just to see how it ended. But I finished it, and like the ending was, it was alright. Yeah, because I liked the video game aspect of it. I thought that was really fun and interesting. And it wasn't about that at all. It just went in a different direction. Also, the first book was more fun, and this was very, very serious. And I don't really like it when books start out like kind of fun and then get super serious. And it was just kind of did that thing that I don't like when sequels do, when they kind of forget about the characters from the first book and then it's all about the new characters. And it's just kind of like, well then why did you bother inventing the other characters? And it's not like, you know, it added new characters on top of the other characters. Like, that's alright. But this added like new characters and then abandoned the old characters, like her teammates. They were barely in this book. Anyway, that's it for this one. I wasn't even going to talk about this one that long. I'm supposed to be talking about the books I'm currently reading, not the books I just read. So that was this one. Then I was currently reading And I Darken by Kirsten White and Origin by Jessica Curry. I actually read the second book in this companion series, Vitro, before this one, and so I was really excited to read this one since like the house shifted and it surprised me. I really like the other two books by her that I have read. I'm on page 110 and it's just started out pretty slow. It's mainly about the main character, and she is like a science experiment, and she grew up in the lab, and she's immortal and super special and all of this very nice stuff, but nothing's really happening yet. There's supposed to be a romance. She's just recently met the love interest. But yeah, it's got off to a pretty slow start. I will hopefully finish it, but I really don't have that much motivation to. I might just set it aside for now. Same with And I Darken. This book has kind of been a struggle the entire time. I'm already on page almost 250. It's very slow build, I guess, and it's not really my kind of thing, which is kind of sad since I bought it, and I'm kind of disappointed that I bought it. It's like $6 in the clearance section, and it's just, I would have given up already if I didn't own it, so I'm probably going to force myself to finish it at some point, but again, I think I'm setting it aside for now because really slow and kind of political. It's not super political, but it's like, we don't focus on the action that's happening. It's historical fiction about a female version of Vlad the Impaler. I don't even know that story very well, but I thought it was supposed to be more exciting. And it follows the main character Vlada, who's like just kind of mean and not super likable, and then her brother, who is really, really nice, but he's almost nice to the point of being obnoxious, like kind of a wimp. He's getting better now that he's older, but like, it's a little bit slow for me. I'm an impatient reader, which you may have figured out by these two books. If something is like kind of a slow burn or takes a little bit to get going, I lose interest very quickly. I need my books to be like, if they're not funny, they need to have a lot of action and have a lot going on. Be not just character driven, like this is very character driven, but it's like I don't really like the characters, so it's hard to be super invested, and it's very slow moving, like it just goes through their life and like their lessons at school, and then I feel like not that much is happening plot wise, and if I'm not super into the characters and not much is happening plot wise, I really lose interest fast. So I'm just an impatient reader that way. It's just my reading preference. So this is the book that I started that was from the thrift store. It's called First Grave of the Right. This is an adult paranormal comedy. There's probably going to be some romance in here, I have heard from the back of the book. And it's super funny. It's about a woman who is the Grim Reaper. So souls pass through her in order to go to the other side, and she has to help them move on. And her uncle is a cop, and she helps him with a lot of his cases. And it's super funny. Like, the writing is really funny, and I'm really enjoying it. It reminds me a lot of The Mediator by Meg Cabot, which is one of my all-time favorite book series. So I am really enjoying this. It's super fun so far. I'm about halfway through it, maybe a little more than halfway. This is a book I started on the beach, and I was so surprised and so happy that I liked it, and I also have the two other books that come after this because they were also there, so I just picked them all up. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. And then we get to the other book, the fourth book that I'm going to be starting, which is Rebel Spring, book 2 in the Falling Kingdom series. I recently read Fallen Kingdom not that long ago, and I absolutely loved it. And it's like one of my new favorites. I can't believe I waited so long to read this series because I'd heard so many good things about it, and oh my gosh, It's so good. I love it so much. And so I had to get the second book out of the library, and so that's the book I'm going to start soon. Kind of debating whether I want to finish this one before starting this one, but this one is from the library, and it took me so long to finish Wildcard since I got them out at the same time that I only have a week left on this, even though it says that I can renew it. You never know if someone's gonna like jump in there and get it, you know, and this is the only copy that my whole library system has for some reason. There's just this one. So I really want to read it before I have to give it back. So I might like read them both at the same time or just read this one first, just because it is a library book, and sometimes library books have to take priority over other books. We'll see what I'm feeling. Like maybe I'll be like in a super fantasy mood, or maybe I'll be in a super like funny paranormal mood. Either way, I'm super excited about both of these books, and I can't wait to read them. So I have about a half hour before this Booktober group movie watch along starts. We're going to be watching Warm Bodies, and that starts at midnight. I don't know if I'll be able to stay awake for the whole movie because I might get sleepy. It's funny because the movie is on Freeform and I don't have cable, but I actually have Warm Bodies on my computer. I have a digital copy of it, so I will watch along with that. I think I'm just going to start Rebel Springs and see, not Rebel Spring, Rebel Spring, and see how it is, jump right in, because I am really curious to know what happens next. So it is like 10 p.m. on Thursday, October 11th, and I meant to update last night, but I ended up reading like right before I went to bed, so I was super sleepy, and I ended up reading about 40 pages. Yeah, about 40 pages of Rebel Spring. And oh my god, I'm loving it so much already. I really, really like the writing style. It's just so interesting and so good. I love it so much. Like, this writing style just like, it's one of those things where it just like clicks with you, well, me anyway, automatically. And I'm just like, yes, I love this. Like, I can't even describe. You know the feeling though, like when you just read a book by an author whose writing you just like for whatever reason. You're like, yes, this works very well for me. I'm like really, really enjoying this. So not so much has happened yet. There was a moment that worried me. It could have been bad. The evil, mean king guy, somebody lied to him and then he was threatening to cut off this guy's tongue and they were like holding him down. And I'm like, whoa, we're not about to have like a crazy violent Game of Thrones moment, are we? Because like, I'm not ready for this. I don't want to read about this. Like, I don't even like this character. Like, I didn't really care that much about his, like, pain. I just didn't want to read about that because that just sounded really gross, honestly. And I'm like, we don't need to mutilate and disfigure people in this book. Are we going there already? It's just book 2. Are we going to the mutilation place? Thankfully, we did not go to the mutilation place. Very good. Very good. So far, so good. Yeah, I'm just really loving it so far. I can't really say much about what's happening because it's only like 40 pages in, but like, I still haven't decided if these vlogs are going to be spoiler free or not. If I haven't decided by the time that I finish this vlog, let me know in the comments if you want these weekly reading vlogs to include spoilers or keep them spoiler free. No matter which one I choose, you can comment below what you would prefer. Yeah, would you rather hear about spoilers than I just put spoiler warning on the screen? Or would you rather I keep it completely spoiler free and then you can just like watch the whole vlog without having to worry about muting it for spoilers? Or maybe I could do something where I don't talk spoilers until I'm done with the book and then I have like a brief spoiler section at the end for each book that I completed that week. Completely open to taking the public's opinion on what would be more enjoyable for you in these vlogs. Hi, so I actually have not updated in quite a few days, but I did finish Rebel Spring by Morgan Rhodes, the sequel to Falling Kingdoms, and I really, really loved this book. It was so good. All this stuff happened. I was actually getting, again, a bit concerned partway through when it seemed like the characters were just dropping like flies, and I was like, if it keeps up, the death rate keeps up at this rate, there's not gonna be anybody, like, who's the book 3, and I'm trying to have a background here, and you just keep falling. You need to stop. So I was like, if people keep dying at this rate, who are the next 4 books gonna be about? Like, everyone was dying, so it was a bit nerve-wracking at times. But so far my favorites are definitely Cleona and Jonas. I'm a bit conflicted about some of the other main characters, like Magnus. I feel like I'm supposed to find him sympathetic, but I don't. He stands by too much while his dad just like murders people. So it's kind of like I want to like you, but I feel like you're not quite there yet. He still like needs a bit more character development, which I think he's definitely got like at the end of this book, so I'm not going to go into spoilers. I've decided to leave this spoiler free. Again, if you want spoilers in future Reading Week vlogs, please comment down below. I'm all for spoilers. But yeah, so for Magnus, and I feel like the stuff that he went through at the very end of this book, the stuff he found out, hopefully that'll create enough of a change in his characters going on that I can like consider him a better character, like root for him a little more. Right now I'm pretty much just rooting for Cleo and Jonas. Also them together, but separately in their own storylines. I want them to succeed. And Lucia is it Lucia or Lucia? I'm not entirely sure. She was interesting because she started out super sweet, and I don't really like what's happening to her in this book. She's kind of going a little bit crazy, and I don't really like it. And so her character is currently on like a I'm gonna wait and see on her, because it started as like a yeah, I'm rooting for you, and now I'm kind of like, looks like you might be turning into a villain. So I'm not sure how I don't support this villainy nonsense. So I'm like, unless like she gets her act together or something happens, yeah. And then we have the new characters, Asher, and well, I've read like 40 pages of Gathering Darkness, the 3rd book in the series, and then he has a sister who like came into town, and so like I don't really know about them yet. Like they haven't really done enough for me to I'm interested in the fact that they're interested in the magic, but I don't really know enough about them to be like, should I root for them or not? Because right now I'm pretty much just rooting for Cleo and Jonas. So that is it for my reading week. I think it's been about a week. It's a little more than a week, but like I'm not including any more reading that I've done past this book. So that's going to conclude this reading week. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to continue this. I would really like to do a reading week like every week from now on, because I feel like it's just easier for me to update as I go. I do want to try and be better about updating every single day. I feel like that'll make the video a little bit more interesting. But thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!